Let's talk about the commitment objection to fractional work. And so I hear from folks that, well, I need employees, folks who are going to work on my team that are 100% committed and they're committed for the long term. Not just somebody who's going to show up for a couple of months and then they're going to be gone. I have to replace them or I have to figure out something new. So what's interesting about that is one of the reasons that we started Fraction was that we saw the degree of commitment possible in this model. It happened organically as we hired fractionally for my last startup, HiddenLevers. But what if I told you that of the 5 folks that we worked with fractionally at my last startup, actually it was more than 5, but 5 in a software development capacity. What if I told you that one of them was there for 9 years? So 9 years, almost the entire run of the startup's existence until acquisition. Another person was there for 6 years, plus 3 years and running, plus 3 years, I'll just say 3 years plus post M&A. So clearly the acquirer saw that fractional work was working well enough that they kept this person through the acquisition, and actually they kept a couple of our fractional folks who were there at the acquisition. They kept him through the acquisition, and he's still working there. And so he's eventually, I don't know if he keeps on doing it, he's going to lap me, and he'll have been at the company longer than I was, which is incredible. So a couple of proof points. Another thing that we saw with that original fractional talent pool, again, working in my last startup, that gave us the idea that this could work for startups from something like a couple $100,000 in revenue all the way on up to exit, in our case, over 8 million ARR, but, could keep on working. The other one was that they, not only did they stick around for this long, but across the group, there was 0 turnover. So how do you measure commitment if not that? 0 turnover across the pool. Not a single one of our fractional workers wanted to leave. And that was a lower turnover rate than we had on the full-time side. So, across all of this, you can kind of see that commitment is there. Now, when folks talk about commitment, sometimes they're talking about, I need somebody who can work 50, 60, 70 hours a week. We're a growing startup and we need people to contribute at that level. Well, I agree. You're always going to have core employees who are all in terms of their availability, in terms of their commitment. Those are the folks that you give equity. That's your core pool. The fractional folks, they don't typically earn equity, and so there is a differentiator there. So we think about the value of that equity and what you're giving up in return for that commitment. It's very substantial, and you deserve that commitment for that. But here, in terms of being able to work with folks for the long term without equity compensation, typically deeply discounted relative to their hourly rate that they make on at a full-time job or something similar. It's absolutely an incredible deal, and you still get commitment at or above levels that you would see with full-time employment.